The Specialty Coffee Association sets a clear, measurable standard for what a coffee machine is supposed to do. Brew between 195 and 205 degrees Fahrenheit, hold that temperature through the cycle, and land in the golden cup extraction range. As of 2023, out of every brewer on the market, only about 24 home machines had ever earned that certification. Everything else is selling you something other than correct coffee, usually convenience, a wall of features, or a low sticker price that quietly costs you far more over the life of the machine. We investigated 10 of the most popular coffee machine brands in America against recall records, reliability data, brew temperature standards, and the real cost per cup. Only 3 turned out to be genuinely worth your money. Before we start, hit like and subscribe. Let's get into it. 1. Keurig is the machine that puts single-serve coffee into tens of millions of American kitchens, and its name has become almost synonymous with the pod itself. The convenience is real. The record behind it is harder to love. In December 2014, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission announced a recall of roughly 6.6 million Keurig Mini Plus brewers in the United States, plus another 564,000 in Canada, after the machines could overheat and spray hot water during brewing. The agency tied the defect to about 200 reports of hot liquid escaping and around 90 burn injuries. The brewers had been sold since 2009 for about $100. And while waiting for repair kits, owners were advised not to brew more than 2 cups in quick succession, an unusual instruction for a coffee maker. The CPSC has separately noted that only a small share of recalled products are ever returned or repaired, which means many of those brewers stayed on kitchen counters for years after the warning went out. The accountability record is worse than the defect. Keurig was later assessed a $5.8 million civil penalty, at the time among the largest the CPSC had ever issued, for failing to report the hazard promptly. Then, in September 2024, the Securities and Exchange Commission charged Keurig over inaccurate recyclability claims about its K-Cups, and the company paid a $1.5 million penalty after regulators found that 2 of the largest recyclers in the country, operating more than a third of U.S. recycling facilities, had told Keurig the pods were not commercially recyclable at the time and did not intend to accept them. And the pods are expensive. At an average around 60 cents each, a 3 to 4 cup a day habit runs roughly $657 to $876 a year, against about $288 for the same coffee brewed from a bag of grounds, a gap of several $100s every year that the low machine price is designed to make you forget. The K-Cup's own inventor has said he does not own one and finds them costly to use, and that ordinary drip coffee is not hard to make in the first place. The colorful pods are also pre-ground and pre-portioned, which means the coffee inside has been losing freshness since it was sealed, and you cannot adjust the dose or the grind. So while Keurig has built its dominance on speed and convenience, this machine quietly raises a question the convenience is designed to prevent. When the brand carries a multi-million unit burn recall, 2 separate federal penalties, and a per cup cost several times that of ground coffee, what exactly is the convenience actually buying you? 2. Nespresso. Nespresso positions itself as the premium pod system, the sleek, design-forward machine that promises cafe-quality espresso at the push of a button. The cups are small, the machines are handsome, and the marketing leans hard on luxury. But the premium framing hides 2 costs. The first is money. Nespresso capsules generally cost the same as or more than K-Cups, and because each pod holds only a few grams of coffee, the effective price works out to roughly $40 to $50 per pound, against about $14 to $18 per pound for whole beans. You are paying a steep premium on every single cup indefinitely for as long as you own the machine. Pre-ground coffee, sealed in a capsule, has also already begun to stale, and the grind is fixed, so you are paying espresso bar prices for coffee you cannot grind fresh or adjust to taste. The second cost is waste. Nespresso's capsules are aluminum, and while aluminum is technically recyclable, the pods rely on the company's own mailback and drop-off program, rather than standard curbside bins, a step most owners never take. So in everyday practice, the aluminum simply goes in the trash. Industry estimates put the number of coffee capsules sent to landfills worldwide at roughly 56 billion a year, and a 2021 peer-reviewed analysis found that pod coffee carries a higher emissions footprint than other brewing methods once the packaging and production are counted, even before a single capsule reaches a landfill. Producing aluminum is itself energy intensive, so even the capsules that do get recycled carry a heavy upstream footprint before they are ever brewed. The machine also locks you into Nespresso's proprietary capsule ecosystem, narrowing your coffee to what the company chooses to sell in its format. So while Nespresso has built its identity on premium, push-button luxury, this machine quietly raises a question the luxury image is designed to prevent. When the coffee costs the equivalent of more than $40 a pound, the aluminum capsules pile up by the tens of billions a year, and the system ties you to a single supplier. What exactly is the premium delivering beyond the look of one? 3. Ninja. Ninja has become one of the most aggressively marketed kitchen brands in America, and its coffee machines promise to do everything: drip, over ice, specialty, cold brew, and froth, all from a single plastic countertop unit. The appeal is all-in-one versatility at a mid-tier price. The problem is that doing everything everything and doing any one thing to a high standard are not the same project. As of the current Specialty Coffee Association certified home brewer list, no Ninja coffee maker is certified. The body that tests specifically for proper brew temperature and golden cup extraction has not validated a single machine in the present lineup, even though a couple of older Ninja models once carried the seal and the current ones do not. A brand can quietly let a certification lapse while the marketing stays just as loud, which is why the certified list, not the commercial, is the thing to check. That absence matters because the SCA standard exists precisely to confirm a machine brews in the 195 to 205 degree window where coffee actually extracts properly, and a unit engineered for menu breadth is not engineered for that one job. The construction leans heavily on plastic. Every added function is another electronic system that can fail, and Consumer Reports, which calculates brand reliability from how often owners report a problem within 4 years of purchase across tens of thousands of surveyed machines, treats exactly this kind of multifunction complexity as a liability rather than a strength. The more a machine claims to do, the more there is to break, and the more of the budget goes to motors, pumps, and frothers rather than to a heating system that actually hits temperature. So while Ninja has built its reach on do-it-all versatility and relentless marketing, this machine quietly raises a question the all-in-one promise is designed to prevent. When the current lineup holds no SCA certification for proper brewing, the housing is largely plastic, and each extra mode is one more point of failure. What exactly is the versatility worth when you measure it against the cup and the calendar? 4. Mr. Coffee. Mr. Coffee is the brand that made the automatic drip machine a household fixture in the 1970s, and its name still signals cheap, simple, familiar coffee. That accessibility is the entire pitch, and it is also the catch. The Specialty Coffee Association certifies machines that brew within the 195 to 205 degree range required for proper extraction. And while one Mr. Coffee model, the Perfect Brew, has earned that certification, the inexpensive drip machines the brand is actually known for are not built to reach or hold that temperature. And the certified model is the exception that proves the rule. Many also keep the pot on a hot plate that slowly stews the coffee bitter after brewing, compounding the problem at the other end. Coffee brewed below that window under extracts, producing the flat, weak, or sour cup that people usually blame on the beans rather than the machine that brewed them too cool. The bodies are lightweight plastic, the heating elements are minimal, and the price that makes them attractive, often under $30, is achieved by building a machine that is effectively disposable. When one fails, and at that price they do, repair is neither practical nor economical, so it goes to a landfill and you buy another, and the cycle quietly repeats every couple of years, which means the cheapest machine on the shelf is often the most expensive one to keep owning once you count the replacements and the electronic waste they leave behind. So while Mr. Coffee has built its name on being the affordable, no-fuss American coffee maker, this machine quietly raises a question the low price is designed to prevent. When the everyday models are not certified to reach proper brewing temperature, the build is disposable plastic, and under extraction is engineered into the design. What exactly is the cheap price really costing you, both in the cup and in the machines you keep replacing? 5. Hamilton Beach. Hamilton Beach occupies the same budget territory as Mr. Coffee, and its Flex Brew line, which brews from either grounds or a pod, is one of the best-selling coffee makers in America by sheer volume, precisely because it is inexpensive and flexible. But volume and value are not the same thing. Like most machines in this price tier, Hamilton Beach's drip and dual brew models do not appear on the Specialty Coffee Association's certified list, which means they have not been validated to brew and hold the 195 to 205 degree temperature that proper extraction requires. A low price and a high sales rank tell you a product is popular, not that it brews a good cup or lasts. Consumer Reports builds its reliability scores from surveys of tens of thousands of owners, calculating the likelihood that a machine develops a problem within 4 years of ownership. And the brands built hardest to a price point are the ones that most often surface leaks, failed heating elements, and electronics that simply quit. The dual brew flexibility that looks like a feature also doubles the number of components that can break, since the machine now has both a drip path and a pod path to go wrong. It is engineered to be inexpensive first, which is another way of saying it is engineered to be replaced rather than repaired, since nothing inside is meant to be opened or serviced. So while Hamilton Beach has built its position on flexibility and an unbeatable price, this machine quietly raises a question the value framing is designed to prevent. When the models are not certified to brew at proper temperature, the build prioritizes cost over longevity, and every extra brewing mode is another part waiting to fail. What exactly is the bargain worth measured against? How briefly you will actually own it before it joins the next one in a landfill. 6. Cuisinart. Cuisinart sits a tier above the budget brands, selling programmable, feature-rich coffee makers with digital clocks, timers, adjustable strength settings, and self-clean cycles that promise a more premium experience. The irony is that those very features are usually where these machines come apart. Every programmable timer, sensor, and digital control panel is an electronic component, and electronics are the parts that fail first, long before the housing or the carafe shows any wear. Consumer Reports, which estimates reliability from how frequently owners report problems within 4 years across its large member surveys, has long found feature-dense coffee makers, along with the carafes and control boards inside them, to be common failure points, and Cuisinart owners frequently report leaking carafes, scrambled programming, glass carafes that crack or drip, and units that stop heating well before the rest of the machine has worn out. None of Cuisinart's mainstream drip machines appear on the Specialty Coffee Association's certified brewer list either, so the premium over a basic model buys programmability rather than validated brewing performance. You pay more for more features, and more features is simply more surface area for something to go wrong, and a machine that needs descaling and menu-style programming has more ways to quit than a simple brewer ever will. So while Cuisinart has built its mid-tier reputation on programmable do-it-all convenience, this machine quietly raises a question the feature list is designed to prevent. When the added electronics are the very components most likely to fail, the brewing itself is not SCA certified, and owners routinely retire these machines over carafe and heating faults. What exactly is the feature premium buying beyond more things that can break? 7. DeLonghi. DeLonghi anchors the opposite end of the market, the expensive end, with super automatic espresso machines that grind, tamp, brew, and froth at the touch of a button, often for $700 to well over $1,000. The promise is a cafe in your kitchen. The reality is a maintenance commitment most buyers are never warned about at the register, and one that scales with how hard your tap water is. Super automatic machines are mechanically dense, packed with grinders, pumps, seals, and brew units that demand regular descaling and cleaning to keep working, and when a major component fails out of warranty, the repair frequently costs a meaningful fraction of a new machine, which nudges owners toward replacing rather than fixing a 4-figure appliance. DeLonghi's home espresso machines are not part of the Specialty Coffee Association's certified home brewer program, which evaluates drip brewers against the Golden Cup standard, so the brewing is not independently validated against that benchmark either. The complexity that justifies the price is the same complexity that shortens the practical lifespan and raises the cost of simply keeping the machine alive. Skip the descaling in hard water areas, and mineral buildup can choke the brew unit early, turning an expensive convenience into an expensive paperweight. A drip machine has almost none of this to go wrong, which is part of why the certified picks below cost less to own over time than a neglected super automatic does. So while DeLonghi has built its premium on push-button espresso convenience, this machine quietly raises a question the luxury price is designed to prevent. When the upkeep is constant, out-of-warranty repairs can rival the cost of replacement, and the machine's own complexity is its greatest liability. What exactly does the 4-figure price guarantee about how long you will actually keep it running? Fortunately, 3 machines are genuinely worth your money. What they share is simple. Each is certified to brew correctly, built to be repaired rather than thrown away, and honest about exactly what it is. None of them is the cheapest option, and that is precisely the point. Each is priced for a decade or more of service rather than a year or two. Worth it. Pick. Number 1. Technivorm Moccamaster. The Technivorm Moccamaster is the machine you see in specialty roasters and serious home kitchens, and it has earned that place. It is handmade in the Netherlands by Technivorm, which has been building these brewers since the 1960s, and every model is certified by both the Specialty Coffee Association and the European Coffee Brewing Center, brewing in the proper temperature range and holding the finished pot warm without ever reheating or scorching it, which is the difference between coffee that stays drinkable and coffee that turns bitter on the plate. What truly sets it apart is how it is built. The machine is modular and held together with screws rather than glued plastic clips. Replacement parts are stocked for every model, including discontinued ones, and Technivorm's own technicians will repair any Moccamaster for the life of the brewer, with a flat post-warranty repair fee around $99 that includes parts, labor, and shipping. It carries a 5-year warranty and routinely lasts 20 to 30 years with a U.S. repair facility in Portland, Oregon, so service does not mean shipping the machine overseas. In a category built on planned obsolescence, it is the rare appliance a company actively wants you to keep rather than replace. One honest disclosure, it is expensive, around $350, and it is deliberately basic. There is no programmable timer, no digital display, no app, just a switch and an exposed copper heating element. If features are what you want, this is not your machine. But that simplicity is exactly why there is so little to break, and where plastic is used, the company specifies BPA-free materials. For a buyer who wants correct coffee from a brewer, they will most likely never have to replace. The price is not really a cost. It is the purchase that ends the replacement cycle for good, and spread across 2 or 3 decades of daily use. Its cost per year quietly undercuts the cheap machines you would otherwise keep rebuying. Worth it. Pick number 2. OXO Brew. OXO Brew is the value pick that proves you do not have to spend Moccamaster money to get certified quality coffee. OXO's 8 and 9 cup brewers sit on the Specialty Coffee Association's certified list, using a precision brewing system with a bloom cycle to hit the proper temperature and extraction, and they do it at roughly $200, with genuinely thoughtful touches like a single dial interface, and on newer models, equals a podless single-serve option. For most households, this is the sweet spot between price and validated performance. The brewer uses a showerhead design that wets the grounds evenly, the kind of detail that separates a certified machine from one that simply dribbles hot water through a pile of coffee. One honest disclosure: the OXO uses more plastic in its construction than the metal-bodied Master. And while its electronic controls are reliable, they are not the screw-it-together, repair-forever architecture of the premium pick. So over a long enough horizon, it is more likely to be replaced than rebuilt at the very end of a long life rather than repaired indefinitely. But it is genuinely well made. It brews to the same Golden Cup standard the expensive machines are measured against, and it asks for well over $100 less to do it. For a buyer who wants excellent coffee without an heirloom-level commitment, OXO earns its place on the shortlist. And for a great many buyers, it is the most sensible machine on this entire page. Worth it. Pick number 3, Breville. Breville rounds out the 3 for the buyer who genuinely wants features without abandoning the brewing standard. Breville's certified drip machine, sold most recently as the Luxe Brewer, after years as the Precision Brewer, is on the Specialty Coffee Association's list, which means that underneath all the controls, it still brews in the proper temperature window and to Golden Cup extraction. The difference is that Breville lets you adjust temperature, bloom, and flow rate with dedicated modes for everything from a fast cup to cold brew. So the customization is built on top of validated performance rather than in place of it. It is sold in both glass and thermal carafe versions, and the interchangeable brew baskets let you experiment with different filter styles without ever leaving the certified temperature window. One honest disclosure: it is expensive, often north of $300, and it is the most electronically complex of the 3 picks, which means more potential points of failure over the years and a real need to descale and maintain it on schedule. The same upkeep tax every electronically complex machine carries. It is not the buy-it-for-life simplicity of the Master, and you should go in expecting to maintain it, but it is the rare machine that hands you real control over your brew without ever dropping below the standard that separates coffee from hot brown water, and it is the only feature-rich machine on this entire list that genuinely earns its premium, because here the features sit on top of the standard instead of standing in for it, which means the decision is primarily about information, not convenience. Information. And if you take just one thing from all of this, let it be the simplest test there is. Before you spend $1 on a coffee machine, turn the question around. Not which brand is the most familiar or the cheapest today, but which one will still be brewing a proper cup 5, 10, even 20 years from now without quietly costing you a fortune in pods, descaling, repairs, or replacements along the way. The coffee machine is one of the most used appliances in the American home, run every single morning, and yet it is bought almost entirely on brand familiarity, a low sticker price, or a wall of features, none of which tell you whether the machine actually brews coffee correctly or will survive 5 years of daily use. Softness in the store aisle, a familiar logo, and a long feature list are exactly the signals that have the least to do with either. The Specialty Coffee Association's certification list, the Consumer Reports reliability surveys, the recall and penalty records, and the plain arithmetic of cost per cup are all public, and most of it is free. The information exists. Most people have simply never been given a reason to go looking for it, and the brands with the loudest marketing are rarely the ones that hold up best under it. You don't have to replace your coffee maker tomorrow, but knowing that out of 10 of the most popular brands, only 3 are certified to brew properly and built to last, while some of the most famous names carry recalls, federal penalties, and a per cup cost several times higher than the alternative, is a far better place to shop from than not knowing. The goal is not to talk you out of coffee at home. It is to make sure the machine you trust every morning is one that has actually earned it. If this gave you something to think about, go ahead and like it. It helps this content reach the people who need to see it. Share it with someone who refills the same pod machine every morning without ever thinking about it, or anyone about to spend real money on a new one this year. And if you want more videos that break down what is actually worth your money in the everyday products most people never stop to question, subscribe and turn on notifications. Because the more clearly you understand what is sitting on your kitchen counter, the better the decisions you get to make for yourself.